Folks, a story out of Tulsa County, Oklahoma, we mentioned on yesterday, involving an Army veteran with a substantial history of mental illness. Elliot Williams died in police custody at the age of 37. The ordeal began 5 years ago when employees at the Tulsa Marriott Hotel called police regarding a mental disturbance in the hotel lobby. That's where Williams appeared to be having a psychological breakdown. Williams told responding officers he was suicidal, but instead of taking him to a mental hospital, they reportedly kicked his knees into his spine while arresting him. He was initially taken to Owasso Police Headquarters, later booked and transferred to a Tulsa County jail after repeatedly banging his head against the wall and reiterating his suicidal thoughts. Well, once the veteran arrived at the jail, Officer Jack Wells allegedly slammed Williams to the ground in order to cuff him, resulting in Williams crying out in pain. For the next 5 days, Williams begged for help and told numerous staff members that he was in critical pain and could not move his legs or anything below his neck, but all of his pleas were ignored. They said he was faking. As you can see there on the video, guards tossed food into his cell, even placed a cup of water he begged for out of his reach. Over those 5 days, no one helped Williams to the restroom, so he relieved himself where he was. Guards eventually put him on a gurney and dumped his limp body in the showers and left him there on the cold floor. The Army veteran died due to complications related to a spinal injury suffered from blunt force trauma. Medical records also showed he was dehydrated. Several people, including healthcare facilitators at the jail, are facing a lawsuit from Williams' estate that alleges a lack of mental and physical care for the inmate caused his death. Folks, this is a perfect example. We just had the Ferguson story where they're requiring body cameras for folks in jail. We've seen other stories. We've seen the young girl out of Kentucky. We've seen a case out of Fort Worth, Texas. Part of this, of course, lots of stories out of Rikers Island in New York. This is an example where if you have body cameras, you need to have that type of evidence to hear what's going on and also see what's going on, not just cops on the street, but also folks in jails.
But here's the thing. We have the video. Right. We just looked at the video. It wasn't that no one saw this going on. Right. I think this is another example of our inability or unwillingness to treat mental illness. We put this guy in a place where people had no experience in handling mental illness. He's obviously having real serious problems, because if you read the story, it's a long account of all the things he did. He obviously had serious problems. It wasn't that they didn't have a reason to think that he was unbalanced. He was unbalanced, but they had no way or no idea how to treat him.
It's also the fact that they're not going to pay a price for it.
Right.
There's going to be a payout.
Right. And this is where, look, I get civil cases, but this is where individuals, whether you want to call it manslaughter, whatever you want to call it, this is where people need to go to prison. Because I'm a firm believer, as long as you continue to have people who are in jails do things and you just pay pay a civil deal, that's it.
Well, this is similar to the Freddie Gray. I mean, Freddie Gray was complaining that he needed to go to the hospital, that he had a broken spine, or his spine was out of place, or whatever the case is. It's sort of similar. You have individuals who literally ignored this man's pleas, and they think, what, his neck was broken? And you leave this man naked on his back, and you're throwing food at him. I mean, they wouldn't treat animals like this. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's beyond gross negligence. It's endemic to how police deal with black folk in America now, and it's just unconscionable. I mean, we don't treat animals in this country this way, and there's no outrage. I mean, we spend billions on prisons each year, and it just seems like the problem continues to get worse.
Folks have to go to jail.
Kickstart your day at 7 and get the news you need from the perspective you want. News One Now with Roland Martin, every weekday morning at 7 on TV One.